tonight because of what's going on with Joe Burrow. He's playing tonight. That's different for him in the preseason. And it's not just the preseason. It's been this entire training camp. He's had the kind of training camp that he's wanted since he started in the NFL. He's been healthy. He's been making plays. He's been able to get out here and say, yes, I'm going to play in the preseason. And if you haven't heard what he said about tonight's perfect scenario for him, he said play one drive, score a touchdown, and get out of there. I think that's what everybody here would want to see from Joe Burrow tonight. Get out there, make some plays, maybe take a deep shot, but get out of the game as soon as possible. So let's bring in now Paul Dehner Jr., who we like to call as an elite Bengals conversationalist. 3 good minutes with PDJ, and we start with Joe Burrow and what we should expect from him tonight.
Not really. I mean, I think we know who he is. I just think you want to go see him. I wouldn't mind seeing him taking a deep shot, but I don't know that we're going to see that. I feel like they're going to try to do a drive the field and run a certain number of plays. A touchdown pass would be nice. I just think you just want to see everything go comfortably, don't take a hit, and that kind of be the end of it. There's no need to chance anything. But as far as seeing from him playing, we've seen so much in camp to this point that I don't think we need to see anything else once he actually takes the field.
So let's talk about the guys he'll throw to. How real is the Andre Yoshivas hype at training camp, and how does somebody in this battle to be his third option separate themselves starting here with these preseason games?
I think it's very real. I mean, it'd be one thing if he was some fly-by-night guy who just had a couple good weeks. He had a good year last year for a 6th-round pick, and really for even better than that, to lay a foundation. And the work that he did this offseason was obvious when he showed back up, and he's played up to that role. They've given him more opportunities because of that, and he's continually made plays. So I don't even know that it's hype to this point. I think you've seen him make enough plays against first-team level defensive backs that you're really comfortable with him. I am curious to see, once the season starts, how they use all those guys, how much of Jamar, Andre, whatever you're talking about you're going to get from Burton. I think they'll maybe see him more on the outside, but how much they work those guys into the slot, how much they're in 2 tight ends and Gesicki's their slot guy. There's so much more they can do right now that I'm curious to see how that evolves. But for tonight, I mean, I think you'd love to see a guy like Yoshivas get some slot reps, something that he hasn't really done in a game before.
I think we all expect to see a lot of Amarius Mims tonight. Even when the starters might come out, he might stay in and play some more snaps. How comfortable should the Bengals feel if he wins this job of putting a rookie at right tackle, protecting Joe Burrow coming off an injury?
Before camp started, you would have said, boy, that makes you nervous. Now, I would be much more uncomfortable if Trent Brown was starting at right tackle. We haven't seen him out there yet. Yeah, he's got 10 years in the league, but what kind of shape is he in? What's the enthusiasm level? It hasn't been very high to this point, and he just doesn't even have any reps next to Alex Kappa. And here's Amarius Mims, who's taken every rep next to Alex Kappa, who's looked the part, who's a physical freak. Yeah, you're going to have rookie mistakes. I'm more comfortable with where he's at right now. And who knows, maybe he falls flat on his face tonight. But I'm more comfortable with where he's at right now than I even would be with just shipping Trent Brown out there on day one and saying, well, he's a vet, he can do it.
Finally, I think we've all felt that training camp has been a little bit different this year. Do you think that's with the thought in mind of getting off to a fast start? Because slow starts have plagued this team here the last couple of years.
No, it felt different because Joe Burrow's participating. And that's why they have a chance to come off to a fast start. Like, we talk so much about how much those starters do and should they play and how easy camp maybe is at some points. No, the reason they've started slow is because Joe Burrow hasn't banked a month worth of reps any of the last few years. He's had to start fresh basically right there at week 1, coming off injuries or appendectomies or whatever. What he is doing, the work he's getting daily with these guys and just getting himself up to the level he needs to be at is the reason it's felt different, and I think the reason you should have a higher expectation of them to start faster this year, because I think he's in a really good place where he's at right now.
Paul Dehner Jr. of The Athletic, always so kind to join us on the show. Elite Bengals conversationalist. Every single year, I'm going to bounce off what he said there and have a bit of a hot take with Joe Burrow tonight.
Give it
okay?
to me. Yeah.
I don't think we need to see anything from Joe Burrow tonight. I think we've seen everything we need to see
Yeah.
at training camp. His ability to move out of the pocket, his ability to make the throws, tight windows, deep balls. Look all over social media. You'll see the passes to Charlie Jones, to Shedrick Jackson. Those two throws right there. And then he had another one when he dropped it in the bucket to Trenton Irwin.
Yeah.
He's made every throw you need to see at training camp. What happens here tonight is more about him getting back in front of the crowd, getting into the huddle with his teammates, and just feeling what it's like to play a football game again, because he hasn't played since they played that Thursday night game in Baltimore. We've seen all we need to see of Joe Burrow at training camp. That's the hot take.